Strap in, truck fans. Back in the 80s, pickups came in bizarre shapes, topless designs, and trims that looked more like experiments than trucks you'd see at a dealership. Yet people bought them, drove them, and turned them into cult classics. Let's start. Number 12, Subaru Brat, 1978 to 1987. A pickup that doubled as a tax loophole. Sounds boring, right? Except this one came with two plastic seats bolted in the bed, facing backward. Not for fun, but to sneak past America's dreaded import tax on trucks. Yes, Subaru literally called them passenger seats so it could classify this truck as a car. Underneath the weirdness sat a 1.8-liter flat 4, pushing out around 73 horsepower and 94 pound-feet of torque. Not exactly muscle territory, 0 to 60, around 17 seconds. Slow by today's standards, but the BRAT wasn't about numbers. It was about attitude. Lightweight, all-wheel drive, and a quirky, go-anywhere personality gave it surprising grit on dirt trails. It was small, nimble, and just stubborn enough to keep up with bigger rigs off-road. But let's be honest, the rear seats, they were dangerous, uncomfortable, and laughably impractical. Owners joked about seat belts of faith since you were exposed to bugs, rain, and any rock the tires kicked up. Reliability wasn't flawless either. Rust loved these bodies, and power was always in short supply. Still, the BRAT carved out cult status. Presidents drove them. Off-road fans adored them. And decades later, those bed seats are still the strangest factory feature ever bolted onto a pickup. And believe it or not, the next truck on this list gets even stranger. Number 11, Volkswagen Rabbit Pickup Caddy, 1979 to 1984, US. A truck built on the bones of a hatchback. That sounds like a shortcut, maybe even a joke. Yet what rolled out of Volkswagen's Westmoreland, Pennsylvania plant was no experiment. It was the world's first front-wheel drive compact pickup. And somehow it worked. At its heart sat the same engines you'd find in a rabbit hatch. A 1.7-liter four-cylinder, making around 78 horsepower and 90 pound-feet of torque in gasoline trim. Or, if you were patient, a 1.6-liter diesel with just 52 horsepower, crawling to 60 in nearly 18 seconds. Not quick, not even average. But frugality was the point. These little trucks could sip fuel all day long while carrying half a ton in the bed. What set it apart was its personality. It was small, car-like, and shockingly easy to park, traits no American pickup of the time could claim. Owners loved that they could get truck utility without giving up hatchback comfort. And for the eco-minded, the diesel version became an underground legend of efficiency. Of course, compromises stacked up. Front-wheel drive, limited towing. Power was scarce. And while rust didn't discriminate, these rabbits seemed to attract it like a magnet. Still, the Rabbit pickup carved a cult following that endures. And if you think a hatchback-turned truck is strange, wait until you see the next pickup, one powered by an engine that doesn't even have pistons. Number 10, Mazda Rotary Pickup, REPU. Final years up to 1980. A pickup with an engine that screamed instead of rumbled. Strange enough already, but stranger still when you realize it was the only production truck ever sold with a rotary engine. Mazda launched it in the mid-70s, but a few trickled into the early 80s, making these final year trucks some of the rarest oddballs on the road. Under the hood sat a 1.3-liter 13B twin rotor, good for about 110 horsepower and 117 pound-feet of torque. That may not sound like much, but for a light compact truck, it meant respectable punch. 0 to 60 in roughly 11 seconds. Surprisingly lively compared to most rivals. And the way it revved, smooth, high-pitched, almost sports car-like. Drivers loved the novelty. The REPU handled more like a car than a truck, eager to rev and quick to surprise unsuspecting stoplight challengers. Mazda even gave it a sporty dash and unique graphics to drive the point home. This wasn't your average hauler, but every oddball has a catch. Fuel economy was abysmal, often dipping below 15 miles per gallon. Engines demanded meticulous care, and many died young from neglect. And as the oil crisis lingered, few buyers wanted a thirsty pickup. Today, surviving REPUs are unicorns, relics of Mazda's fearless Rotary obsession. Number 9, Chevrolet El Camino SS Choo Custom, 1980s. A car that wasn't quite a car, a truck that wasn't quite a truck. And in the 1980s, one small Tennessee outfit decided to turn it into something even stranger. This was no ordinary El Camino. This was the Choo Custom, built in limited numbers by Choo Customs of Chattanooga. These dealer commission specials gave the El Camino SS a makeover worthy of a NASCAR grid. A fiberglass nose cone stretched it forward, the grille went blacked out, and wild-side graphics made it look faster just sitting still. Under the hood, though, things were more down to earth. Most carried Chevy's 5.0-liter V8 with around 150 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. Acceleration was modest, with 0 to 60 taking about 11 seconds. But that wasn't the point. The Choo was all about attitude. It looked outrageous, it turned heads, and it blurred the line between muscle car and work truck like nothing else on the road. But peel back the bodywork and you found the same El Camino bones: soft suspension, average handling, and a reputation more for style than speed. Still, that wild personality makes the Choo unforgettable. A rolling snapshot of 80s excess, and just when you thought trucks couldn't get any stranger, the next one shrinks the concept down and swaps rear-wheel drive for something completely unexpected. And before we move on, if you're loving these forgotten gems, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of the countdown. Number 8, Dodge Rampage Plymouth Scamp, 1982 to 1984. A truck built on the bones of a compact economy car. It sounded impossible, but in the early 80s, Chrysler actually made it happen. Meet the Dodge Rampage and its nearly forgotten twin, the Plymouth Scamp. Based on the Omni/Horizon platform, these car-based pickups broke all the rules. Instead of body-on-frame toughness, you got a unibody shell. Instead of rear-wheel drive, it was front-wheel drive. Unheard of for American trucks at the time. Power came from Chrysler's 2.2-liter inline-4, putting down about 84 horsepower and 111 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 took a sluggish 14 seconds, but efficiency was its strong suit. Over 30 miles per gallon on the highway, which was gold during the fuel-conscious 1980s. Light, practical, and surprisingly nimble, the Rampage and Scamp were perfect for hauling light loads or running suburban errands. They had the look of a truck, but the heart of a hatchback. For some buyers, that was exactly what they wanted, but flaws were hard to ignore. Payload was limited, towing was laughable, and their car-like construction made them fragile compared to true pickups. By 1984, both models were gone, leaving behind a short-lived experiment that still confuses collectors today. Would you have daily driven a front-wheel drive pickup back in the 80s? Or is that just too weird for comfort? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Number 7, Dodge Dakota Convertible, 1989 to 1991. A pickup that lets you soak in the sun with the top down. Sounds like a custom job, right? But no, this was a factory model sold straight from Dodge dealerships. The Dakota Convertible was the first and only mass-produced convertible pickup in America, and it remains one of the strangest trucks of the late 80s. The formula started with a standard mid-size Dakota. Under the hood, most carried Chrysler's 3.9-liter V6, producing 125 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. With a 0 to 60 time hovering around 12 seconds, it wasn't a speed demon, but it offered decent torque for light hauling. Dodge even offered a 5.2-liter V8 option, giving the convertible some extra muscle if you wanted flair with bite. What made it unique wasn't the performance, it was the experience. The conversion, handled by the American Sunroof Company, gave buyers a folding, soft top, open-air driving, and all the impractical charm of a roadster with a bed. It turned everyday errands into a spectacle and made sure you'd never go unnoticed in traffic. But reality set in quickly. The roof leaked, structural rigidity was questionable, and sales were microscopic. Fewer than 3,000 were ever built. The Dakota convertible burned bright, but only for a short window. And just when you think Dodge went off the rails, Toyota stepped in with a creation that blurred the line even further. A pickup that wasn't fully a pickup, yet somehow worked.